Because you make time for what you ain't forget to text that boy. You ain't forget to text that boy. You ain't forget to clock in to work today. You didn't forget to go to your friend's birthday party or go out with your friend. You didn't forget to sit there and play your Sims. Yes, Sim girlies, I'm talking to you. Coming from a Sim girly. But it's just like you make time for what you want to. So for people to be like, oh, I don't have enough time. Like, I was just reading my book. Like she said, if God ain't at the first of your list ain't working. The list is in the wrong order. She's like, if God isn't at the top of your order, like your order is not incorrect alignment. You need to go work that out again and don't try. You need to fit it in. I pray for a new song, new day, new life, new season. Pray for the hope gone, restore, find life, new reasons. Pray for the soul lost, find hope, find strength, find freedom. Pray. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today, if you can't already tell by the title, we are going to do a Bible study recap. I had a Bible study about 2 weeks ago, and I've been meaning to film this video, but let's not talk about what we meaning to do. Let's just do it, okay? So I did a Bible study for my C3 group. It stands for Christ in the Cliftons. So Christ, 1C, 2C, and then my sister's just 3rd, but it's really my community. I just thought I was going to do C squared, but I like C3. Or C cube, whatever you would like to call it. But thank you so much for tuning in for this video. This video is going to be about where is your heart at. If you see me looking down, I have my computer here with the slides, so I can just reference them as I'm talking to you guys. So let's just slide right into the video. Okay, I believe as a Christian, heart posture is one of the biggest things. And I feel like you really got to, when you really get closer to God and you really get deeper on your walk, you realize how important heart posture is. There's a verse in the Bible, I'm not very sure what verse, but it says, you ask and you do not receive because you ask with the wrong intentions. And I'm just paraphrasing the verse, but like definitely, because me and my sister were just talking about earlier, I'm not going to out her, I'm just going to speak about me. But I was like, yeah, sometimes, like right now I'm sitting in my prayer class, I'm not going to show y'all because girl, that's between me and God, okay? But sometimes I pray for things and I'm like, oh God, give me a big body Benz. Oh God, make my husband let him keep me safe like a banker. And I mean, real though. But at the same time, it's like my heart posture. It's like, why do you want these things? Do you actually genuinely want these things to help you pursue your relationship with Christ or get deeper with Christ, or do you just want these things to show off, to flaunt, or to make your flesh feel good? Even when I was watching Jere Flowers sermon today about the 10 virgins, y'all don't play, because he was like, oh, nobody talks about this parable. Girl, that's my parable. Like, if we gonna talk about parable in the Bible, that's my parable. I remember it since I was a young girl. Just out of all the stories in the Bible, I don't know, it just stood out to me because it was like, because my mom, I don't know, like, I feel like my mom just instilled it in me, but she was just like, there were 10 virgins and 5 were prepared and 5 were not. That's just kind of paraphrasing it. But basically, the whole gist of the parable is that you need to be prepared, because somebody isn't gonna always come say, God died on the cross to save us. But like he's saying, people like Jere was saying, people like the 5 that were unprepared and didn't have enough oil for their lamps, and then they start asking the prepared ones. They're like, oh, give us some of your oil. And then the girls were like, no, we can't give you our oil, because if we give you our oil, then we're not gonna have enough to last us through the event. And so they were like, go buy your own. And while they went to go buy the oil, the door had been open and shut. Like, the event started and they closed the doors and they were like, let us in. And they basically were like, no. So they're just as sorry to be prepared. But I was saying all that just to say, it was talking about like your heart posture. Like, that's one of the biggest things. So I just titled the slide, like I already said, where's your heart at? I also said, learn to have a Christian heart posture and what God says about our heart, because what he says is, of course, the biggest thing. To figure out where your heart posture is as a Christian, there are questions that you can ask yourself. Questions such as, where is most of your time spent? What am I holding on to? What knowledge am I rejecting? What is leading my heart, what has damaged my heart, and what lies or misconceptions reside in my heart. Where most of your time is spent. This is something that I was big on in the Bible study. You spend your time where you like to. People make time for what they want to. I know everybody probably has heard that. People make time for what they want to. And so it's kind of like, if you're not making time for God, then it's, to us, and to God, it's looking like you don't want to spend time with him, because you make time for what you ain't forget to text that boy. You ain't forget to text that boy. You ain't forget to clock in to work today. You didn't forget to go to your friend's birthday party or go out with your friend. You didn't forget to sit there and play your Sims. Yes, Sim girlies, I'm talking to you. Coming from a Sim girly. But it's just like, you make time for what you want to. So for people to be like, oh, I don't have enough time. Like, I was just reading my book. Like she said, if God ain't at the first of your list ain't working. The list is in the wrong order. She's like, if God isn't at the top of your order, like your order is not in correct alignment, you need to go work that out again and you need to fit it in. So yeah, it's just where you spend your time, because I know a lot of us spend time doing a lot of stuff, but we need to learn to prioritize God, because God didn't be like, you know what, today I really ain't got time. Like, what if he ain't have time to wake you up this morning? Like, to be like, I don't have time to wake up Sydney this morning. I don't have time to wake up so-and-so this morning. Then you wouldn't be here. Clock in, make that time. And I know, y'all see my ring. This is my purity ring. Because one thing I said, I was like, I feel like they said, the father don't play by his kids. And I feel like God would have blinged me out. So I blinged myself out. It was only $15, y'all. Okay, back to the registered program. But another question I had that I just read through was, what am I still holding on to? Whether it's good or bad. That's something I really wanted to emphasize. Holding on to bad things like a breakup, a friendship breakup, opportunity you felt like you lost, or anything of that sort. Like, holding on to that is not helping you move forward. It's not helping you fix your heart. It's actually just damaging your heart. Like they said, because if a snake bites you, the venom came in, but now the venom is just sitting there, and you're just sitting there not trying to get any type of antidote or anything. You're just sitting there with the venom inside you, and that's not good. Because me and my sister did talk about that. We were like, I feel like the hardest thing in forgiveness, because that comes with a good heart posture, with forgiveness, is honestly forgiving yourself. I feel like the hardest thing to forgiveness is forgiving yourself. Because it's like, you should love others as you love yourself, which means, like a girl said on TikTok, you have to love yourself first. And so it's like, it seems like it's hard to forgive others, but I realize as I've matured and gotten older that it's honestly hard to forgive yourself. But so just don't hold on to things. And then also in the sense of good things, don't hold on to good things that are no longer in the season for you. They're not in the books for you right now. That could be, I'm trying to think of a good example. Like friends. You've had friends for a long time and you've held on to them, and God is saying, this is your time. If you was looking for a sign, girl, come in. If you was looking for a sign, this is your sign. Cut that friend off. Okay? Cut that friend off. Because God is trying to take you somewhere, and everybody can't go. When God is trying to elevate you, he has to separate you first. And let me tell you, the elevator, you know how it got the little occupancy sign, and they be like, oh, 1,300 pounds, only 13 people need to be on this elevator. The occupancy is 1. You and Jesus. 1. Everybody else can't come with you, and that's why he needs to separate you. So also don't hold on to good or bad. Just really pray and ask God who or what needs to be removed. Next thing I said is, what knowledge am I rejecting? Because everybody want to talk about this verse, and I didn't know it really meant that. I feel like Jere has opened my eyes a lot. The Holy Spirit has worked through him and used him as a vessel to give me the revelation. Because he recited Hosea 4:6. And give me just a second. I can pull that up. 6. My people are being destroyed because they don't know me. Since you priests refuse to know me, I refuse to recognize you as my priest. Since you have forgotten the laws of God, I will forget to bless your children. So that's what I was thinking about the first one. But Jere made me realize that he said that people would perish for a lack of knowledge. But not because they didn't have the knowledge. It was rejecting knowledge. The knowledge was presented to them on a silver platter, and they said. So it's just like, what knowledge am I rejecting? Make sure that you're taking it all in. When God is handing it to you, that you are taking it in, meditating on it, and letting it flow to your heart. Also, what is leading your heart? So what is leading your decisions? Is it like wanting to be flashy? Is it wanting to be known? Like, what is leading your decision? What has damaged your heart? I mean, it's not more so about what's damaged your heart. It's more so about letting God heal that damage and not letting the damage define you. Also, what lies or misconceptions reside here? Lies and like just, I feel like that's fine. I was gonna try to explain that, but I feel like that's pretty straight. But let's move on to what God says about our heart. God says about our heart that we must guard our heart, trust the Lord, give it to the Lord, pray over it, and through it, we must also evaluate it, line it with His word, and seek God with it. I'm going to list the verses right here, or I'll list them down below, but you can go check those verses out, because like Jere said, don't be trusting me. You need to go take these scriptures. I'm going to list them down below. I'm going to put all this in the I'm going to put all of this in the comments or in the caption. But you don't need to trust me. You need to go and read the word for yourself. Even if I'm telling you the right thing, I'm not saying I'm not a trustworthy person, but you need to go read the word for yourself. I feel like something that I definitely have realized as I've matured and grown up, that, and especially this year since I started, or the end of last year since I started reading I'm going to read Genesis through Revelation that way, because like Caleb Gordon said in one of his songs, he said, it's only some knowledge. You don't get the knowledge if you don't read it chronologically. And I'm telling you, God could have had these books ordered in any other way. He could have the books ordered in any other way. He has them ordered the way He wants them ordered. There's only, and I'm not saying you can't pull stuff from it by like, reading Proverbs, reading Psalms. You can pull a lot of stuff from it. There's no wasted ink in the Bible. But what I'm saying is there is certain knowledge that you are only going to get if you read it chronologically. And that's something I had to realize. And that was like, ding. That was like a big, like, ding. Because I was just like, wow. Because so far, I am in Numbers right now. But it's just like, just reading through all of Genesis. Because I know, and then also as like growing up in the church, like sometimes like they tell you all these stories, but they never really like say like, oh, this is from, like, well, they'll say like, this is from Genesis. But I think like when you're little, you're not obviously going to remember all that. And so it's just like, seeing where everything came from, like the story about Lot's wife, the story about Abraham sacrificing Isaac. It's just a lot of stuff. Like honestly, like Abraham, TTTT. But even like Moses, like I think so far out of all the characters I read about, I like Moses the best, because I had this, God gave me a revelation. I had this revelation. God, glory to God. He gave me the revelation that, because I was like, why were they all acting like that? They were always doing Moses in. They were like, where are we going? Like, even like when, no, that was Abraham. They were like, where are we going? Like, after he took the people out of Egypt, they were complaining. And then it said, I feel like I read the chapter and I was taking it in, but it didn't really hit me. Because, you had an aha moment. It didn't really hit me until I was reading the last chapter, and it said that Moses went up Mount Sinai and he talked to God. He sat there for 40 days and 40 nights and he didn't eat or drink. And that's when it clicked at me. Like Jay Monty said, they would never understand why he stand the way he stand, because he stepped where they never go. And it, like, even like when you think about it, they would never understand. Like, why is he doing that? Like, he's doing too much. Like, blah, blah, blah. You would never understand because you haven't seen the face of God. You haven't been up there in that. You aren't there with the intimacy. Because, like, even like they would never understand why he's standing the way the snake. Let me stop. They would never understand why he stands the way he stands, because he steps where they never went. But that's physically and spiritually, because physically he went up the mountain, but they weren't allowed to. Like, they had to, like, the only thing they could come close to was like the bottom part of the mountain. Like, they weren't allowed to go up the mountain. He was the only one allowed to go up the mountain. And then even spiritually, like, you weren't in that intimacy with him, so you don't know like how to. That's why you're not grasping that deep seated faith. So sorry, just to get that out. Okay, guys, that is all I have today for my Bible study of where's your heart at? Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and tune in to more videos. I will give a disclaimer. I did record a video and it was just, stuff was happening. It was going a little wonky. And so it's just like, it didn't get posted. It's not going to get posted. I'm going to give it to God and we're going to edit this one and post this one. So I'll be like, I got you, girl, in the comments. I would say, I try to ask you guys like, a question, but who is your favorite person in the Bible? Like, out of all the chapters you read right now, who is your favorite person in the Bible? Like I said, Moses holding it down, because after I had a revelation, it gonna take, like they said, that's some big shoes to fill. Like, I need somebody to stand on business, because I am Miss Stand on Business herself, and I see that Moses was Mr. Stand on Business. So until somebody can stand on business like that in the Bible, when I get to that chapter, then y'all cut. But thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching my channel. I would love to see you guys next video. Make sure to tune in, and bye.